I've started recording, and then they just loosen up, and then they're like, "Oh shit, have we started?"
Oh yeah, right.
I feel honored to have you gracing my
Oh, likewise.
my humble show.
It's a nice day. It's actually my first time in a Leaf.
As you would know, actually I don't know if you do know, but when I talk about Innate Furniture to a lot of people, I always describe it like, oh man, it's the Tesla of furniture.
Tesla furniture is probably not actually a bad way to describe it. We've said that a few times as we had come up with the concept. Furniture is looking at how we can bring a lot of manufacturing, I suppose, back into New Zealand. The New Zealand furniture manufacturing industry just took quite a bit of a hit, basically, as imports and cheap imports from overseas became more and more prevalent, especially in the 80s. And a lot of joinery shops and furniture manufacturers, they went under. So in order to still compete with those imports, we're really looking at how we can make things extremely efficient, so using a lot of software and technology to streamline, automate, systemize things, while at the same time sticking true to values of how we think the ideal scenario of how furniture looks, which is really honing in on sustainability a lot. In a nutshell, it's really trying to simplify furniture with sleek modern designs that end up being more efficient to manufacture, and using natural local materials. And if those principles are really simple and straightforward, but you stick true to them, surprisingly there's not many companies out there doing it. Half the reason why I guess furniture manufacturing in New Zealand has slowed down a lot, because if you look at a lot of the traditional styles of furniture, there's lots of corners and angles and you know, things that have been turned essentially like a turner used to be, and that takes time, and that also takes quite a lot of skill and you know, years of practice to get to a point where you can learn how to put a piece of furniture together. And we've really tried to simplify things down so that it doesn't require years and years of training to put a piece together by keeping things sleek and streamlined, and by not having too many things going on. It actually speeds up the manufacture as well. So our workshop, even though it produces a lot of furniture, we've only got a couple of drills and some sanders.
Oh, really?
And a couple of saws, but there's no big expensive machinery, and that keeps our overheads really low. One of probably the best things is this, you know, Nick, my business partner, nor myself, or really the guys that we contract and work with, are seasoned joiners. We all come with a fresh approach, and sometimes it comes with a challenge, because you have to learn something again. But for a large part, it also means that you're
starting from a different perspective.
Yeah, you're not trying to incrementally change something that's already ingrained. As far as the timber's concerned, yeah, we're really conscious about some of the timbers that are used for not just furniture but cladding and decking and things like that in New Zealand. Like Kwela is a great example. Most of that comes from West Papua, and it's essentially, you know, big old growth indigenous rainforests are getting clear felled, and often illegally, and indigenous communities are getting displaced, and they're just wiping these rainforests out and replacing them with, you know, palm oil or livestock, and you don't realise, if you go down to your local shop and get a piece of Kwela outdoor furniture, that's the industry that's being supported.
You hear a lot about fast fashion and the whole industry around fast fashion, but I don't even know if this is a term that has been coined, but fast furniture, that's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know, I haven't heard many people talk about it, but we've
just invented it.
Yeah,
now.
Pretty much. Yeah, fast furniture is definitely a thing, and it's just as much of an issue as fast fashion, and it's maybe not thought about it as much. But we really believe that we need to slow down our consumption rate and the number of items that we introduce into our lives, and anything that we do introduce has some meaning, and it supports our local communities and our local economy. That goes right down to, like going back to the timber species, for example. You know, we really try to focus a lot on using beech from the west coast that's sustainably harvested, and it's a lot of people don't know that it even exists, but it was back in 1949 that the Forest Act was put in place to help manage native forests so that they can be sustainably managed in a way where we can still take a certain small percentage of timber out, but it doesn't negatively impact the forest, and it can be done forever. So there's this whole system that exists currently that is in place and is heavily regulated through MPI to manage that, and that's the resources we have available right now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's been in place for 70 years, and there's no beach furniture that you can find practically around anywhere.
Wow.
Maybe in small scale backyard operations, but certainly not in the retailers. So as we're now entering into the retail space and doing large volume furniture manufacturing using these native timbers with natural oil coatings, it's something that certainly hasn't been done recently.
Yeah.
The main thing is really that we want to shake up the industry a little bit and showcase how things can be done differently and better, and that there are viable business models within manufacturing in New Zealand for furniture beyond what we've always done, and if we can have an impact on other furniture manufacturers or encourage other people to do the same, we really promote that. We don't see that as competition. We think the more of this sort of stuff that's happening, the better. And I guess we take a leaf out of Tesla's book there as well. You know, they encourage other businesses to do the same. They're not trying to become the world dominating force of the gatekeeper. They're saying, like, well, this is where the industry should be. Let's set an example, and then let's see how many other people can follow suit and do similar things, and maybe in some ways do things better than us and teach us over time. But we really would like to see the manufacturing industry in New Zealand to come back alive a little bit more, and for more people in New Zealand to think about what they put into their homes and where it's made, what materials it's made from, which community are they supporting when they buy a table or a beanbag or whatever it might be.
Oh man, can I just say I'm pumped, because obviously I've been a big fan of yourself and Nick and the stuff that you're doing. I'm just pumped that my friends are gonna get to see this now, because it's like you're going, like, Innate Furniture, you gotta check these guys out. They're changing the game, and yeah, I'm excited. And again, something that's happening right here in our own backyard. I'm excited to see where you guys take this. Well, for whoever gets to see this, I'll definitely get a link to your website and the social media and where they can check out more about Innate, because I feel like we just scratched the surface.
Yeah, we have. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. And the main website, also the commercial side of things, which is a second website that is linked from the main one that we're really pushing into a lot. So yeah, we are welcoming all conversations and inquiries and people interested in it, not just people looking at buying furniture, but anyone who's interested in it. Just these chats are healthy and good, and I think this is the community that has a lot of value, much more so than just a piece of furniture.
Oh man, I'm hyped. And next time when we have the follow-up for this, I promise I'll bring you coffee as well.
That's all good. Sweet, thanks so much, man.
All right,
we'll see you soon.